Hey, it's your girl Lil Nas X, and you're watching Hella Clout Show.
Dash Radio, Hollywood, California. It's your boy, the DJ TJ. It's the Hella Clout Show. Today we got special guest Lil Nas X in the building.
Yes.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
We out here. What's
Shout out to
going
my
on?
co-host Joy. What's up, Joy?
What's poppin'?
I missed you.
I miss you too.
Did you have a good Easter? Because we were gone for like a week.
Oh,
I
really?
did. I was in Dallas.
Right.
Turned
Oh.
up.
Wow, Dallas.
Yeah.
I love Dallas.
We got some friends
cool.
in Dallas.
Yeah.
So Inez,
What's
pronounced
going on?
Inez, right?
Yes.
Super
Love
dope
it.
artist. Today we got a great musician. Also, what are you, like a supermodel or something too? Because we were just talking
Man,
about the hair. She
facts.
said her hair was like bright red yesterday. Now
Oh.
she's got the brunette going on. You wear them both well.
Okay, you know.
She looked good.
Oh, you know what it is? You know what it is? I've done dark hair for so long now.
Okay.
And when I was like from the ages of like 16, 17, 18, I used to dye my hair like every color.
Ooh.
And then
damn.
I like stopped dyeing my hair because I was like, I need to get it back to health. Like I
Yeah.
ruined it. You feel me?
Yeah,
So
I feel
then,
it.
and then all the extensions, everything ruined my hair. So I was like, recently I started wearing like wigs and experimenting.
Yeah.
And like, you know, and
Smart.
then I was like, you know what? I'm ready for color. Let's get it.
All right,
and
throw it
actually
in.
the hairstylist, Jonathan, he's from Dallas.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Dallas
he-
made
Shout
they
out to
do
the
it well.
stylist.
Yeah, and he just like, we're doing color. We are not doing black anymore. It's done.
Right.
Yes.
Here I am, back to black.
Okay. I
How
love
does he
it.
feel about that?
I mean, whatever. He's like in Cabo, so I'm like, what am I supposed to do now?
I
Like,
gotta get it done.
we
Man,
back,
I got
bro.
radio interviews.
You feel me? We back to black for now. It's fine.
It's okay.
It's good. Joy's got black hair too, but it changes all the time.
It
Sometimes she'll
does.
show up with
Yeah.
blue. Sometimes
Blue,
she'll show up with the
purple, orange.
yeah, I love that. I
We
love
do it.
Yeah, it's so fun. too.
Yeah, it is.
It's just a whole new person that comes out. It's
new
like,
person.
Like red hair, I was like fiery. Like I
Man,
was like,
okay.
Look at the Instagram. I was like, is this the same person?
I know.
yeah, for real.
What's
I was
this?
a firecracker.
I thought she was gonna come up
Did
here
you
and
get a
start
lot of
pressing.
compliments when your hair was red?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What would you say your favorite hair color of all the ones you've done has been?
Probably that.
That was okay.
Ooh.
Because it's so, and then when I dyed my hair, because I dyed my hair red, but it was so hard to maintain.
Yeah, that's the part.
Why?
It's
Why is
so
it hard to
hard.
maintain?
You can't get
color,
water.
yeah, yeah.
And
It
it starts
fades.
fading.
Oh my God, it's terrible.
I remember doing an interview with Riot, and she had the bright green hair.
Yeah,
It was
hers
like
is
lime
dope.
yellow.
It was like a neon
Did
green.
she-
Yeah.
hot.
I was wondering, it's like, do they paint that, or is it like a wig, or how does that? Because it's like so vibrant. I'm like, how? And then the next day it would be like orange.
Yeah.
I mean, you just gotta dye your hair, like get it to blonde, and then like
Yeah, and
get
then
the
put
color.
the color.
See, I dyed my hair blonde recently.
Yeah, so
So you
put
could do
anything on
any
it.
color.
I
Yeah.
gotta give it up to all the
Anything.
girls who dye their hair. Cause I'm not gonna lie, this shit made my eyes water. My scalp was burning.
Right.
I'm looking at the girl. I'm like, look, is it supposed to be like this? Like my head is on fire.
It's like burning. Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
talking. My eye. She was like, "Are you okay?" She thought I was crying.
Honestly,
But it
that's
was making
why,
my eyes water. I
That's
was like,
why
I'm
we
not
do
getting
wigs.
emotional.
That's why we do
Exactly.
wigs nowadays. Nobody
Snap
got
it
time
on.
for that.
Okay, look, I'm a dude.
You can do
I'm not
it too.
gonna pull up with a little wig.
Lace front
could
is
do it.
fine.
They
I'm
got
gonna
it
get
for
the
guys.
I'm gonna get the little pump wig. It's like little braids. You
Yeah.
know?
You know, but you know what? You can do any color, and then you could cut it off. It grows back.
Right.
We can't do that. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Like we can't shave our head up unless we're
I
going
was
through
gonna
like.
say, because like if you
a
dyed a lot,
transformation. Like-
doesn't it break off? Because my hair was breaking off. I was like, yo, what the?
Yeah, it ruins your whole everything.
Look, I
Right.
ain't
Dying
Britney
is
Especially if you dyed
Spears.
a lot.
I ain't cutting my
Yeah,
hair off.
like come on, you know what I'm saying?
Okay,
At all.
I
enough
can
with the
see-
hair. Let's talk about some music, okay? We could go on for days talking about beauty.
can,
I don't
we
want to be
can.
doing all
Nice,
that.
nice.
I want to talk about Inez's music. How about that?
Yes.
What's up?
So you were just on tour recently.
Yes, I was.
And who were you on tour with?
Tokyo Jets.
How was that?
Fire.
That's her tag. Tokyo Jets. She's dope.
Damn.
I love her. She is awesome. We clicked. We were getting along really well. She was just we were on the same page. We're like we respected each other. We like it was a lot of love. So
Dope.
which is so dope because before I was just like, damn, I don't want it to be like, you know.
Competition
Yeah,
or like, oh,
like,
I want to
you
get on
know,
stage or whatever.
Yeah, and a few years ago, I won't name the artist, but a few years ago, before because I was on tour at Fetty Wap and Post Malone, and right before that tour,
No big.
there was
She just kind of slid that in there real quick.
But what's funny is before that tour, I was supposed to be on tour with this female artist who I'm not going to name her name.
Okay, cool. 'Cause we actually
okay.
don't want to hear it. So
Yeah, we're not going to name her name. And she's like one of those catty girls anyway. And
worst.
she didn't want no female artist opening up for her.
Oh yeah,
Weird.
I've heard that. That's actually
Yeah.
common. That's real common. Because like these
so
girls are like, no,
whack.
because then
That's
it's like you
weird.
might be flexing on my game, especially if you're dope. And then you might have more attention.
Feel me? What's
And all of
up?
a sudden the crowd, and then they come on, and then
That's
her
so
set
whack,
is
though.
like
That
kind of
is
washed
whack.
out and dry. You're like, damn, I come back, you come off stage, I killed that.
Yeah.
Crowd going nuts, and they want. The thing is, They want the next.
Right.
And if you killed it and all of a sudden she goes on, damn, my shit's kind of washed out. After that, like, how do I, and that happens with DJs.
Yeah.
You like, damn, that dude killed it. How do I go on after that? Like, and as a performance, like, that's actually like a real thing.
Yeah.
But then the whole thing, like, I don't want a girl going before me. Like, come on.
That
man.
is so
You should
whack.
be embracing girl power,
Bro,
right?
that's so lame.
Women's rights. We out here. I support that.
Like, for real.
Can I get a whole show of just women?
Honestly. So that's why with Tokyo it was so lit, because it was just like, she was just so like love, like, you know? And I was like, damn, she's so dope.
That's
like, she
super
really
tight.
is.
And how'd
And I
that
love
tour
her
come
music,
together? Like,
too.
how'd you even get put on that tour?
Literally, I just got the call like 3 weeks before the tour started that they wanted me to open up, and it just kind of like I had 3 weeks to set it up, and I was just like,
how'd you do that?
Man, I don't even know.
Hey, she did it.
I don't even know how
Like,
it happened.
no rehearsal, low-key just went into it.
No, we had a lot of rehearsals, actually. We had
Okay.
a week before the tour started, we had like literally 4 or 5 rehearsals each, like 3-4 hours, like, you know, 5 hours rehearsals. Like, we just were jamming them in to get it all in.
All
Because
in, yeah.
I had my dancers with me, which it
I
was
was
just
gonna
like,
say next is like, do you have dancers, like a performance?
yeah,
that you
it's
do
a
too?
whole show. I put on a whole show. So like,
Okay.
I dance, I sing, I rap, all the things.
Wow.
This one was more of my rap, more of my urban stuff.
Okay.
Just because
Okay.
of like, you know, what kind of
The
tour it
crowd-
was.
the
Yeah,
crowd,
you know.
yeah.
Right, you kind of cater to the crowd.
Yeah, but it was just like, I had my dancers, I had my full glam squad on tour. So it was
So
just
what's the
like,
glam squad?
man, I literally had my hair and makeup person, my stylist, and you know, it was so freaking funny because oh man, because me and Tokyo were dope, but there were other openers who were kind of feeling some type of way, like, oh, why does she and and it's just like, bye.
Because I'm inasx.
Exactly. Don't be mad. Do better.
Thank you.
Do better.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Amen. Enough said.
So what was your favorite city that you performed on tour?
Definitely New York.
Okay, 'cause
Ooh, okay.
that's your hometown,
Yeah,
right?
definitely New York.
So-
we had everybody come out. It was crazy.
So
down.
all your supporters, family, everybody came.
Yeah, everybody
Your
came
parents
out.
come?
I mean, my mama, you know, I got 2 little siblings.
Okay.
14 and 6. My
You're
little
the
sister's
oldest?
6. I have an older brother, so there's
Okay.
4 of us. But because of the 2 kids, I didn't want them to come. I was just like, I don't know, like, I just rather not. I'm very
Right.
protective of them. Like,
You don't
they're
know.
like my kids. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Smoking weed.
yeah, feel me?
Yeah,
I was
there's a
like, I
lot
don't
going
want
on.
them to be around
Right.
none of this. So
Yeah.
I wanted them there, but I just didn't want them. So I'm gonna wait for
In
the
time.
bigger shows. And
When you headlining?
yeah,
Yeah.
like even for Fetty, when they came to that show, they came to a few of the shows, and there was mad weed smoke, and like,
Yeah.
you know, Fetty just comes out the room, coming to be my little brother.
Blunt
and
in
just like,
hand.
Right in
Like,
hand.
bro.
roll the backwood.
like seriously,
He's like,
you
"What's
cannot,
good?"
you know. So I didn't even want them to be around that, and I was just like, you know what,
Respect.
Fine.
Respect.
Yeah, no, I respect it.
No, I'm a dad, and I
Yeah.
took him to the first Complex Con. I took my son to the first Complex Con, and I was like, yo, it's like an art show. This will be chill, right? Oh,
Please.
no, man. I
There's
felt like
weed
the
everywhere.
worst parent. This is when the show was like on the same floor as like the art, the gallery thing.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So like the music was right here, and the weed just wafting by. I was like, "Come on,
everywhere.
just walk over here, bro. Like,
yeah.
Gotta put the
Pharrell
mask
exhibit or
on.
something. You know,
Right.
I felt bad. I felt like people were looking at me some type of way. I'm like, yo, I just got VIP for me and my kid, and I'm just want to see some of the homies.
Exactly.
But I feel that on that sense.
We'll wait for the arenas where
There
like
it
this
is.
weed,
Exactly.
And
no
you can have
weed
them in
smoke
your
allowed.
green room drinking
Yes.
water, you know,
Period.
as we do.
Because you know those big arenas and big stadiums and big all that, they don't allow no weed smoke. So boom, we come there. It's
Right.
fine.
Exactly.
So you were signed to Fetty Wap's label, or what was that? Or,
We were signed to the same label.
Oh, you guys were both signed to the
Yeah,
same
we were
label.
label
Which label
mates.
was that?
RGF.
Okay, cool.
So
Okay.
yeah, he was also under 300, but yeah,
Right.
he was mainly with RGF.
So are you still signed to them, or?
I am not.
Okay, so are you
Okay.
independent right
I
now?
am.
Taking
Free agent.
deals. People are
Okay.
call in now. That's 1-800.
Are you open to like being
Nas
signed
X is
again?
looking for that check.
Yeah. Oh yeah, honestly, facts. 1-800 get the bag.
Right?
But no,
I knew this was gonna
totally,
be a good show.
I totally am ready for like a major situation. I just want it to be the right situation because I've already signed a really
Yeah.
bad deal. So it was
Right.
like, and they say your first deal is your worst deal, and I can attest to that. So
And when you say that, was it like or did your last contract expire, or is it just you got out of the deal because it wasn't favoring you?
I had to wait for it to expire because they didn't want to let me out.
Right.
And I think Fetty's trying to get out of his deal right now.
Oh, okay.
Monty got out of his deal. It was bad business happening.
Got it.
And bad management. So, and poor Fetty, like it really hurt his career. And I love him. He's an amazing person.
And you know, I
So-
was just actually bringing him up the other day. I said because he was booming.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
When I first heard about
Booming,
Betty,
breaking records.
You my trap
talking about
queen.
killing
Come
it.
on.
Okay,
That was the
come
anthem
on.
that summer. Are
breaking
you kidding me?
records. Breaking records.
I literally brought this dude up like a week ago, and I was like, "What happened to Fetty Wap?"
Yeah,
Man.
bad management. Bad management.
That's
bad label.
crazy.
Well, I guess shout out to RGF on that one.
Right, no shout out.
I mean, like literally no hard feelings, but still F
It
you.
is business. is business. They don't call it the music business for nothing.
Yeah,
Oh, no.
yeah. And you know what? It's sad because he's so talented. And I feel like really bad for him because he just like, he kind of owed them his success. You know
Right.
what I mean? They made him.
Okay.
And so he felt like
Obligated.
you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So he couldn't leave them. And
Right.
now he's trying to leave. But
I respect
now it's
that
too
though.
like
if you've done
late.
so much for me, I'm like, I'm not gonna bail on
but
you
for
right now.
me, it was a different situation.
Right.
I had my whole own team. I was on Billboard dance charts on my own. I was
Wow.
doing everything on my own. It wasn't them. So it was like a different situation for me. So I didn't feel that like loyalty to them. I was like being stupid loyal, but then I was like, hold on, let me be
I'm
smart.
really doing this
Yeah,
myself.
Yeah, myself.
Yeah.
So let me just like
got
just-
my back.
You
Yeah.
feel me? Like, come on, because a lot of artists they get. It sucks. And I see it happening to someone like Uzi. He doesn't want to put out music now because
Right.
he's in a bad. Because like they take you when you're new,
Yeah.
young,
Naive.
fresh, naive.
Yeah.
Give you
know
the
what
little
I'm saying?
bag
You
for
know
a
what I'm saying?
second. Yeah.
Or the promises because
Yeah.
the
I'm
promises
I'm like,
are
I'm over
real.
here. I'm a manager too. I'm over here sinking. in my
Right.
You feel me?
TJ, I don't
damn.
hear you.
Out here revealing the secrets,
They're
y'all.
letting me know. But yeah, that's what they do. And then it sucks because then you're like, you get to a certain point where you're like, wait, hold on.
Right.
I'm getting like completely screwed over here.
Wait, y'all get 90% of my money?
Yeah.
No,
It's
for
crazy.
real. But what I tell artists
you
though
owe 'em that.
is that
Yeah.
you need to get your bag in different ways. You know,
Facts.
like for example, Fetty Wap. Now he's doing Love and Hip Hop, right? I think.
Oh my God,
or
is he?
something
I
like
don't
that.
know.
Or he's on one of those like reality shows. But
Right.
like,
That's
would
good.
you at least do something like acting or like putting your money into businesses? Do you have any
Oh,
plans of
yeah.
like? 'Cause
Oh, yeah.
Do you act or?
Oh, yeah. All of
What's
you
your
already
plans?
know.
Movies,
I
TV?
know,
Yeah, you seem
already
like
know.
super talented. Like you do a little bit of
Yeah,
everything.
multi-talented.
Like she said, the glam squad. Like you got the beauty thing going on. She sings, and then I was listening to your Spotify. Your music isn't. I thought you were like a hip hop artist. Excuse me if you're not. But
Yeah.
I heard a couple different other sounds in there that kind of had like a different
pop,
variety, like
yeah.
some different stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
like, so describe your music to someone who maybe's never heard it.
I
Like-
love talking about this because, okay, so this is what's going on right now.
Okay.
So I have put out a lot of pop records. I was
Okay.
on the dance charts, a
Right, 'cause
lot-
you said dance charts, so it's kind of like-
yeah, I had success there, but I felt like when people met me, they were like, wait, I didn't know that you had a hood side. I didn't know you were from New York. I didn't know you were like,
Right.
they didn't know these things about me.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I was like, wait, and I grew up listening to pop and urban music just
Yeah.
the same.
Right.
Growing up in Brooklyn, you're around all kinds of music, reggae and all the things.
Mm-hmm.
So easy. So literally, I just grew up on that. So now when I'm creating, I don't want limitations to genre.
Right.
I want to create anything I feel.
Yeah.
So I was in a moment like where I was creating a lot of pop records about love and stuff. you
Yeah.
know? And then I fell in love and I had my heart broken. So I was like,
Mm.
F love. I don't want to talk about that
Turn
right now.
up.
Right.
Turn up. Like,
Right.
I just want to
Yeah.
turn up. Stop with the lovey-dovey stuff right
Yeah.
now.
Which is so
Put some trap
typical,
music
especially
on.
from a female artist. Like
That's
from
how
a
it
dude's
be.
perspective, like I would expect you to come out with some love songs.
Come
you know?
on,
Like,
you know what I'm saying? And then it was just like, cut that off. Put
Right.
the trap music on real quick.
Yeah, turn it
So
up.
you feel me? And I was just listening to trap music, so making pop music wasn't resonating with me at that time. So I started making more, and I've been rapping for as long as I've been singing.
Okay.
And to touch upon the acting thing, I started acting and music at the same time. So I was I was in New
Wow.
York. I was taking acting classes. I was doing all the
wow.
things, but music had more of my heart and my soul, and I just
Right.
I loved all the things that music came with, creating the music, putting out the music, having what they would say from the music.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to make a choice, and I made the choice for music. And I've
Nice.
taken acting classes in LA as well, because one helps the other, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
You totally you feel confident in like
Yeah.
public situations. You can talk
Yeah.
about like you are right now.
Exactly.
I can already tell this interview is going better than the last one we had.
She would be a great host.
Right.
I could just see it. Like,
Right?
you know, like
You know what's so funny? So before I decided music was the thing, also I was like, maybe I should do that because I love talking. You know?
Yeah.
But music just nothing does for me what music does for me.
Yeah.
You know, like just the creation, everything about it.
Right.
Except the business part.
Right. That's the part that kind of puts a damper
Yeah.
on it,
On
honestly.
everything. It does put a damper on the art, period. You know, and it's really hard to separate that, like Inez from Inez X. You know what
Right.
I mean?
Wait, what's the difference?
Well, Inez, like that's really who I am. That's really me. That's my
You are Inez.
that's me, And Inez, the X is that strong, empowering
Yeah.
force,
Right.
Inez, I got my soft sides. I got my vulnerable sides. I get, you know
People
what I mean?
forget that.
Yeah, I'm a human too, you know.
Yeah.
But that's, and I've had to separate the two because it is overwhelming. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I love pop. I love hip hop. I love both the same. I want to be able to create both. You know, I think that so many artists have successfully done it. So I don't want to be limited to a genre. And I think now is really that time to establish that.
I need to establish a separation here too. So there's a lot of rumors on the internet about Lil Nas X stealing his name from you.
Ooh.
Honestly, though.
Is that true?
Okay.
Or
What's the tea?
who was a Nas X first?
Honestly, though, I've been doing music for a little while now.
Right.
And I came across my table that someone had pretty much my name. Like,
And when was this?
Man.
Did this take place recently?
yes!
I can imagine.
So it was just like, wait, hold on.
Wait.
And I think it's an amazing thing because he's doing very well right now.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's
As
no
yourself.
coincidence. You feel me? There's no coincidence. Like
Right.
his name, he just added the L's and it's
Yeah.
my name.
Yeah,
Right.
it really
And
is though.
honestly,
it
and
is.
the X was my thing. It's been my thing.
Right.
I took it from Malcolm. You feel me?
Right.
So
Oh, okay.
it's my thing. Like, because my last name has changed when I was 16. So when I started doing like music, I was like, I don't want that last name.
Okay.
It was my like stepfather's. I was like, I don't want it.
Right.
So I took the X from Malcolm.
That's tough.
The only person who had an X going on is Director X, who
Right.
he called himself Lil X because he's inspired by Malcolm as well.
Right.
He's a good friend of mine. You know, it's cool. I was like, all right, he's the only one.
What about DMX?
And that, you feel me?
What about Exhibit? No,
What about
I could go off of that.
XXX?
I'll do that.
all the ones who came before
Right.
are a different story. But DMX too. I met DMX and he's like, "You're an X, I'm an X." It was love, you know what I
Oh,
mean?
that's cute.
Like it was mad love. Love him because we had the same lawyer at some
Right.
point. So I love him.
Okay.
But Lil Nas X for sure stole my name.
Okay.
I don't care.
Hey,
I
the
want
fact-
all the smoke.
Period.
Let's talk.
We were
Let's get
wondering,
it.
What's
so now she put it on the
good?
table, and it is what it is.
For
It is.
sure. Where'd you get your name from, bro? Let's talk.
Right. He was on he heard that song that you did. He was like, yo, I should just add some L's to that, and that could be me.
Not for real, because the X, like, come on now. If he didn't add the space X, I'd be like, maybe not.
Right, but it's right on there.
A little Nas, like Lil Nas, but the X, bro, let's talk.
Got the horses in the back.
Come on. And I love the record. I really do. I
It's
love
catchy.
the whole thing.
It is
I love
catchy.
She
it.
started singing when she came in here. All of a sudden, I was singing.
It's a
I was like,
revolution.
stop.
Got the horses.
It's a revolution.
Yeah, it is.
It is. I love it. I love it. I love what he's doing.
You were mentioning, enough of that, dude. You
Yeah.
were mentioning that you just released a record while you were
Yes.
on tour. What was that song
Ooh.
again?
Me too.
Me Too, which is doing pretty well on Spotify from what I see. And with Me Too, explain that song before we get into it, because I'm going to play it.
Yeah, I love this song. So basically, when we were making this song, the beat was kind of an exotic sounding beat, and then I started just being like, me too. And we were talking about the whole Me Too movement a little bit before, and
Okay.
just talking about how, I don't want women to be looking like weak or misunderstood. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people coming out and lying, and it takes away from the real women who go through this
Yep.
stuff. And I take that very seriously.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want women to look weak. I want us to look strong. I'm like this, like, no, like, you know what I mean? So when we made the song, I was like, we're going to take the power back. And I decided the whole video at the time where I made the song too. And I was like, I want to do this whole thing where I want it to be like, because girls normally we'll fight each other over a guy and all that BS.
Right,
and I hate
right.
that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all about, listen, he played you, he played me too.
Let's get him.
Like, let's get it. Let's get it popping. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, let's get him. Exactly.
Yeah.
So it was and that's what the video was about. And it was John Tucker Must Die kind of
Okay.
inspired, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like when all the girls teamed up and went against him.
Yeah.
And I think that that's powerful because now it's not only our world, but when we stick together, we become this strong force. Whenever a woman teams up with a woman, it's something different. Like, we could do crazy things. Like,
Oh, yeah.
whether it's bad or good, it depends on how we feel that day. But we
taking
can do
over.
crazy stuff.
I've
Yeah.
heard, and I was listening to some of your lyrics, which makes me question, since you talk about doing crazy stuff, are you bisexual?
I mean, I don't like titles. You
Right.
know what I mean? But
Okay.
But have you ever hooked up with women?
I love women. I
Okay.
do. I mean, I love men too. but I love
Two.
women.
For what they're worth.
On my good days when you acting right.
But I do love women. More so when I was younger, I was more experimental and I liked having a lot of fun. Now that I get older, I want more stability and I want more, it's just like.
I want a bag.
I feel you. A bag and a babe. That's it.
Like, that's it.
Yeah.
You feel me? And like, it's more important to me. But yeah, I love and appreciate women so much. I think that we're just the most amazing, beautiful, perfect creatures ever. So
I can agree with that.
yeah, we're just the best. So how can you not appreciate the beauty of a woman? I just love us.
So that was Me Too from not Lil Nas X. God, I'm gonna start that off again. That was Me Too from inasx X, y'all. Not to be confused with Lil Nas X, okay? Don't get it twisted.
Period. Get it right.
And that's a jam. Thank you for providing that song for us.
Fire.
And that just came out not that long ago, right?
Yeah, it just came out.
That's good. And so do you got any other projects in the works that you got that kind of relate, or any albums in the talks or anything? Or?
For sure. I mean, I'm about to drop another single called Boss. And then we have a crazy...
I like how you say boss with the New York accent. Boss.
Yeah.
Love it.
What part of New York are you from?
I was born in Brooklyn, New York.
Okay. You know someone in the background's going,
Love
Brooklyn.
You feel me? You got to add that in too. That's hot.
Right.
Brooklyn.
I swear anybody I know that's from Brooklyn represents Brooklyn so
They
hard.
lit out there.
I literally
Yeah.
kicking with my boy
You got
on
to.
Friday who's from Brooklyn, and every time I bring up New York, Perry's like, Brooklyn.
Yeah, you got to.
He's
You
always got
got
like
to.
a dusty
You
Brooklyn
got to
hat. I'm
rep.
like,
You
bro,
got to.
you are like the biggest Brooklyn representative I've ever met.
You
But then
got to.
anybody, I swear it's like there's like a lot of, I'm from Brooklyn. You represent.
Proud.
Yeah. It's because you know what it is? When you live there, you experience so many different cultures and so many different, you know what I'm saying? And it's so
Exactly.
beautiful. You experience so
Right.
much life. And then, so when I was like a teenager, I moved to Connecticut for a few years.
Okay.
And it was like the worst thing ever. I was like, kill me now. I can't live here. Cause I just experienced all diversity from like for the first like 15 years of my life or something.
Right.
Like my best friends were like, white, this, that,
Right.
Chinese, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Like it was just culture. Then I
Right.
moved to Connecticut, it was like no culture, like just
Everybody ate white bread.
Same.
yeah, like come on.
And peanut butter and
And saltine crackers and milk.
Facts, you feel me? Facts. There's no sauce, nothing.
Right.
You know what I
sauce.
mean?
Hot sauce are like hot
Nothing.
sauce.
Like what
What's
is
that?
going on? You feel
No
me?
Somebody in
Right.
Connecticut's like, no, for real.
No, for real though.
They
And-
looking at a plate of crumbs right now like,
Feel
damn,
me?
she ain't lying.
Feel me? And
I'm
it was
done.
like the hardest thing was to to get out of there. I was like, just get me out.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I can't be here. So, but I am happy because I have that. I say I have the Connecticut etiquette and I
Okay.
have the Brooklyn.
What is
realness.
Connecticut etiquette?
I mean,
Are they
that-
real proper in Connecticut?
Yeah, they're proper and ish. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So so I can kind of get along anywhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
change it up.
Because if I feel
What's
like
your nationality?
I'm Middle Eastern,
Okay, Middle Eastern. I know you rapped about
Okay.
being
Arab.
Arabian.
I am. Yes.
That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, because I remember my grandpa used to work with. He had some Arabian business affiliates that he worked with. I remember one of them bought him a Rolex. I'm like, you got your Rolex?
They got the
You got
bag.
it, right, my
I go to
man.
Saudi Arabia. I'm like,
Period.
you doing it
Period.
right. And he was like, yeah, it ain't nothing.
Don't be confused.
Grandpa.
Period.
Rest
Like
in
that's
peace,
it.
Grandpa. But he did his thing. you
Arab
know?
money is a real thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Arab money. It's like it is a real thing.
It's a real thing. Yeah. It is. It really
Does your
is.
family come from Arab money?
I mean,
she's got a
listen,
dog named
listen.
Yeezy. Where's Yeezy? She's
I
got the
know,
dog in
Yeezy.
here.
Easy
no,
chilling, y'all.
I'm Auntie X. But here's the thing.
Have you been to Saudi Arabia?
No. But I'll tell you one thing. My mother is a very self-made woman. My mom has come
Okay.
from a lot of turmoil. She was born in Palestine.
Okay.
She was from a Christian community. She married a Muslim. So over there, when
wow.
you do that, they exile you. So
Right.
she was exiled. She moved to America and she built her business from scratch.
Wow.
My father, she had, he became abusive. She left. And with
As
me
she
and my
should.
older brother, and she was living in shelters, and she's a very self-made woman.
Wow, shout out to mom.
Shout out to
Yeah.
mama, my whole heart and soul. So my
That's
stepfather and her built a business, but he didn't do nothing. It was
What kind of
all
business?
her.
Can I ask?
It was a medical business.
Okay.
And
Okay.
she built it from scratch. She really did. And
Right.
because I was around such a strong, empowering, amazing woman, like I just feel like she taught me so much on how to, if you want it, go get it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Don't wait for nobody. She was
Yep.
working for somebody who, and then she was like, I could do this on my own, and
myself.
did it herself. And I
Wow.
saw that, you know?
That's really
So,
cool.
and she just did what was best for her family. And I just, because I have such a strong woman behind me, I feel like that's what pushes me. So I've never been nothing was ever handed to me. You know what I mean? Like I've worked my booty off for this. You know what I mean? Like in every way. Like I started as an intern when I was 19.
Wow.
That's how I got in the industry. I didn't know anyone.
Where were you interning?
Def Jam.
Wow.
Okay, intern, step up. What's up?
Shout out to Def Jam.
Shout out. But yeah, I mean, that's where I started. And I was like, when I was there, I was like the same way she felt. Like I could run this whole thing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
What's
okay,
this? I'm going to make my way.
Feel me? I could do all this. I could run this whole
I bet your mom is proud. She's like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's my heart. She's
that's good,
my
though.
heart.
And I hear that, when there's a lot of strong moms and that inspire their children. I watched a documentary. It was kind of similar. It wasn't a mom, it was a dad situation. And it was the Steve Aoki documentary. I watched it last week.
Oh.
And he was really inspired by his dad. His dad's founded Benihana's. I don't know if you guys know
Yeah,
that.
of course.
And
I was like, of course.
Benihana's good. It's crazy.
We've all been there. Shit's
Like,
fire,
what the hell? You founded
But the thing
Benihana.
is, he did his own success with the whole DMAC thing all on his own and didn't ask. And then his siblings were like, yo, we didn't give him any money. The dude was struggling. Like he was living in a dirty ass apartment trying to launch his Good Charlotte actually helped get front him some money to start DMAC.
And that's how for me, because I'm Middle Eastern, my mom didn't encourage me to do music for like the first 3 years or so that I did music. Like she was like, no, we're not supporting this. We're not doing this.
And that's how his family was. They couldn't, his dad didn't see it. And his dad was like, you got to be business,
Yeah.
Exactly.
He just went, he's like, I'm going to prove to my dad that I can. His dad since had passed, but he's like constantly trying to prove to him that like, Dad, I did it too. I did it on my own. His dad was real successful, racing boats, setting world records, all kinds of shit. So he felt like he had to live up to that. And didn't ask his mom, for any help. He just legit did it based off of the work ethic that he watched his dad go through, And I was like, damn.
The fear of not knowing if you're going to make it. That's what the parents are like. Just do something that you know for
You're
sure.
gonna make,
Go into medicine,
be
be a lawyer.
Be a
doctor.
lawyer.
Like,
he was cutting onions just to prove to his dad. He was in tears, like cutting onions, trying to prove his work ethic.
that I could do this. Yeah, and that's for me. That's what it was, and it was like really hard not having her support at the time. So I worked so hard to get her support, and I was like, if I could turn my own mom into a believer, I can turn.
At what point did she become a believer?
I think like after I started working with this producer who had worked with MJ, and we made all this music.
She's like, okay, this is starting to get serious.
She's like, okay, this is something.
Wait, Michael Jackson?
Michael Jackson? Exactly. And then we made all this music, and it was like a thing. And then afterwards, I started working with Timbaland's camp, and then that's when she was like, all right.
Okay, you're official.
Yeah.
All
and then
right.
it was like my first single, so many things were happening, Billboard, tour, radio. And that's when everybody else's approval came.
Right.
Because, like with Middle Eastern people and ethnic people, they'll all be talking crap to your parents. Like, what the hell is she doing? What does she think she's doing? Da, da, da.
Why her hair look like that?
Yeah, not even that yet. Why is she dressed like that? Why is she doing that? Like all the things. And then finally, when I was on the radio and stuff, people were like, oh, your daughter's on the radio. And then that's when it was just like, hey.
I disregard everything I said last year, okay?
We support. We want to come to the show.
Facts. And that's when everybody's approval came, that's when my mom was like, all right, I got to star now.
Right.
Like she's a star, and I'm going to stand behind her no matter what. And she really has been that for me.
That's
like,
cool.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I'm very, 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 very grateful because I don't have like all this extended family and all this stuff because of the
extortion.
And that religious stuff.
Right.
You know what I mean?
That's tough.
Yeah.
So because of that, like she and my siblings mean everything to me.
Are you still religious?
I am very spiritual.
Okay.
My religion is love.
Okay.
First
time I've heard that on the show.
Yeah, my religion is love. I was raised Muslim. I went to Catholic school a few years. I was very open to both religions. I like learning about all religions, Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism.
So you're very open-minded.
I'm very open-minded.
That's
I
cool.
think that, all the religions are saying the same essential message, which is unify and love yourself and
There's a very
love
common
each other.
message amongst...
There's common messages. And we're kind of missing those messages by like the differentiation that religion causes and that kind of separation that it does. Like, oh, you're this and I'm that, so we're different. No, we're the same.
I personally can't stand. I hate to talk about religion, but I can't stand that when people hate on other religions.
Yeah, I hate
because
it.
they're just afraid of it, or they only believe that their religion is the only one. I'm not gonna get too deep into it because it does cause a lot of controversy.
Yeah,
but that's how I am. Like to each their own. We're all people, and we all got rights to our own opinions.
And that's what makes us all the same. We're all human.
Right.
Exactly.
No matter what color, religion, this, that, we're all human.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the bigger message that we like. A lot of people missing. So I think that's what we need to like really put out there. Like, no matter what you like believe in or your skin color, whatever. We're human. So let's not focus on how we're different. Let's
Right.
focus on how we're the same because we're all human in that sense.
Absolutely. So
Getting deep, I like it.
Man, I'm like, man, love to see a religion now.
I didn't expect a lot of that from her, but that's dope. I want to talk about your music some more. Because
Yes.
you're obviously a great musician. You're well diverse because you have a lot of different sounds to bring to the table. Who would you want to see yourself work with in like the next year or so? Do you have any people that you like?
Wouldn't it be so funny if Lil Nas X and inasx did
That would be
Oh
so
my
cute.
I can
that
actually
would be
see the
so
title
cute.
now.
That
I was like,
would be so fun.
That's like Danny Lay's Lil Baby and then getting Lil Baby on
yeah,
the track.
it's
Right.
so hot. That's hot. You
That's
know,
cute.
I actually know Danny. She's dope. But like, you know, it's just like that would be so dope. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Like just to do something like that,
Yeah.
that would be
All
so
right.
lit.
After
so.
you called him out for stealing your name, we'll see if that
Yeah,
works
let's
out.
get it popping. Let's talk. I
Let's
just want
get
to
him
talk.
on the show.
I just want to
Man.
talk.
And he's gonna
What's
be like,
up?
she's right, you know, I did. I was on Instagram.
I know the
and
facts.
I was like, my name was whack.
Facts. Let's just
And I
talk.
respect it after you.
We can squash
be
that. Lil
100.
Nas X, you come on the show and we'll squash that right here at Dash Radio for
Facts.
you.
Let's talk.
What are your thoughts on Nipsey? That just recently happened.
I
out
think
here.
that it's there are
I mean,
certain.
coming from an East Coast artist,
Yeah,
you know,
from
because
an-
he's big on the West Coast. I want to hear
Right.
it from like an
Yeah.
East Coast artist, you know.
I think he was a prophet, you know,
Right.
and I think that a prophet was taken, and it's
Yeah.
really sad when things like that, you know, happen. But God just needed to take His angel back. I really
Right.
feel that. So,
Yeah.
you know, because certain artists, like I connect to that, you know, want to inspire and save as many people as possible. That
Yeah.
that is a prophet, you know.
It is.
So I think that he was that, and I think that you know the way that he was killed was so disgusting.
right.
And I just that's the part that hurts, you know, what like that,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like that's so disrespectful.
Like that,
Right.
yeah.
Like, you know, and then I think there's a lot of controversy around it, and I think that, you know, with the documentary and, you know, Dr. Sebi and like
Yeah.
I was personally diagnosed with MS 3 years ago.
Okay.
And I started researching Dr. Sebi a lot. So, and I know that Dr. Sebi was probably killed for his beliefs.
right.
So I think that, you know, for someone to
There's
be
a lot of conspiracy back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for someone to be trying to spread positive messages and to be taken out like that is just really sad.
It is.
Yeah, it's kind of sketchy.
It
I'm
is
not gonna
really
lie.
sketchy. It's like what's really
going
person
on.
that's really helping out the community, helping out everybody,
Right.
Right.
And
He was
then
gonna release a documentary.
documentary to
Like-
help others,
And then he gets taken out.
And people, little do people know that they're painting a mural on the front of the building
Yep.
right now of Dipsey Hustle on the front
Yeah.
of Dash Radio, which is super dope. We'll
I love
put a
how
clip
much,
of that
honestly,
picture.
how much love he's been getting is really like
Right.
beautiful. Cause
beautiful.
Yeah, it really is. It's really inspiring to
Right.
keep on going with whatever your positive message is, and don't be afraid, because
Right.
people feel that they need that. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like they need him. They needed
Yeah.
him. You know what I mean? And they need every positive artist and person who's out and speaking positive messages.
Right.
They need that. The people need it.
We've lost a lot of good talent in like the last couple years. You know, we've lost Lil
Yeah.
P, we lost XXX,
yeah.
we
Yeah.
lost Mac Miller, Nipsey Hussle. You know, and there's a lot of influential people that are like dying. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and it's really affecting the industry.
It
you know, I
is.
feel like, you know, and like drugs is a big thing. You know, like
Yeah.
people like you got overdoses happening, people are getting murdered, and it's like it's sad. You know, especially for like to have all these artists that are really good artists. And I was recently listening to Mac Miller and XX and Lil Peep. I was like, man, it's kind of sad. You know, listening to these guys and the stuff that they're talking about, and then all of a sudden realizing that, like, you know, life is really like a fragile thing. I don't want to get all serious on this show. I want to keep it more positive, like we were talking about. But damn,
Yeah.
No, like it is. And I think that, you know, especially, you know, as a young artist
Mm-hmm.
and being in LA, there's so many, like, there's so much temptation.
Right.
You already
Yeah.
know what we deal with. There's so much
Right.
drugs everywhere and stuff. And it's like, it's really hard to be like, you know, I don't go out like that
Right.
because
Yeah.
I know what it is. Like, if there's not a
Exactly.
bag involved, I'm not going.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm not
That's
going.
how I look
You feel
at it,
me?
too.
I'm not going unless there's money
Right.
involved. But, you know, I see a lot of artists with my own two eyes that will get caught up. They have dreams, but they get caught up and then they go out, or the drugs and LA life and
Right.
this and that. And then they get caught up, or like people in general in the industry that happens to. And it sucks because it's just like, oh, like LA and in general, a lot of places and drugs and stuff. It's just like there's other answers. There really are other answers.
Right.
You know, there's healing that a lot of people need to do.
Exactly.
And that's something I take very seriously, healing. I heal a lot. You know,
And when you mean healing, what is it like?
I think self-care is very important, you know,
Yes.
especially in this industry. This industry takes a lot out of you.
Right, it does.
Mentally, physically, emotionally. And I take a lot of time to self-heal because
and what kind of practices would you recommend for other musicians like yourself that are going through stuff like that?
I think meditating,
Yes.
going to the spa, getting massages, you know, getting a therapist if needed.
Okay.
I think it's very important.
Keep your head straight.
There's an
Talking
app.
to a friend.
There's an app
Right.
called BetterHelp, and if anyone needs a therapist, that if they don't have the time and they need to just talk to a therapist,
Right.
just get the app. You could talk to the therapist once a week, and it's awesome. So
That's
there's,
dope.
Oh, that's
I
good
think,
to know.
yeah, there's a lot of different things that I've like practiced, but at least on a weekly basis, I at least have to get like at least a massage
Right.
or go to the spa.
You
or,
said back massage. My back already started feeling like
Come
that.
Right, I'm
on
like, girl,
now.
I need a massage right
There's
now.
also another app called Soothe, and
Okay.
and these apps better start paying me. But
Man,
Right.
for real.
I was about to say, my next
promo.
question is like, are you sponsored
like,
by
Right.
they're not, I'm not even sponsored by them. They better
But they
start
work,
paying me
though.
though. Yeah, but they do work. Soothe is a I use it all the time. They come to your house. They give you a massage there, so it's awesome if you don't want to go
so
anywhere.
pull up masseuse.
Yeah, it's awesome. So there's an app for everything nowadays.
There is
There
an
is.
app for everything.
I think you get the app to do whatever, you know, we get the app for Instagram. We got to get an app for self-care.
Yep.
You know
And
what
this is
I
the
mean?
perfect time to let you know there's an app for Dash Radio. You could download that.
Yes, sir. And
Hey.
Inasx X is coming out with an app
Right?
soon. Let's
Hey.
get it.
Are you really?
Yes, I am. I'm working on an app right now.
Ooh,
Let
what you
us
gonna
know.
have
We'll
on
download
it?
that.
Yes. I'm right now. I'm working on it to put exclusive content, but
Your
also,
music, okay.
yeah, I also want to do something that will have people interact.
Oh,
so maybe
okay.
some kind of game on it or something
Okay.
cool, so that people can really interact and really get involved. You know, so
That's
that's
cool.
what we're working on right now. We're developing it and we're developing like ideas and all this stuff. So
Cool.
Dope.
that's what we're on.
Let
Okay.
us know so we can download the app when it
Yeah,
comes time.
for
Maybe we'll have you
sure.
call into the show and be like, yo, the app's live. Y'all better go
Hey.
get it.
Yeah, download the app.
That's cool. That's cool. So, like, who would you say musically has inspired you to become who you are today?
I always say like, what would MJ do? Because Michael Jackson is my favorite artist.
Okay.
Now,
Good to know.
let's talk about it. So all the controversy surrounding Michael is BS,
Right.
and I'm pissed. But we'll talk about that later.
I know.
Like,
And the same with the R. Kelly. I kind of just push a lot of that to the side. There are some fucked up things.
No,
that
R.
R.
came out
Kelly
of
done
that.
did some fucked up
nah,
shit. I'm gonna be 100 with
R.
you
Kelly
right there.
and Michael Jackson are two
But you know, if
different
Ignition
people.
came on in the club, your ass would start stepping. Don't lie.
Yo, look, that's the difficult part.
lie,
That is the hard part,
You
bro.
know, trying to
If
separate.
Michael Jackson, don't stop till you get enough.
Oh,
came on
I'm
in the
doing.
club.
I'm moonwalking all through the club. You
Come on now.
feel me?
But you know what? Honestly, like MJ just seemed like he wasn't an abusive person, so it just is hard to. It's hard to believe. Like
Yeah.
R. Kelly, his family not talking to him. You know
Man,
what I'm saying? Like
look.
he's obviously an abusive person. You know what I mean? You could see it. You
Yeah.
know, and a lot of things. Michael just seems like he's like the sweetest person ever.
Right.
Like I'm like what?
He's so
Like he just seems like
soft-spoken.
yeah, like all
soft-spoken.
about love and like
Right.
it's just
Yeah.
that's hard for me. But he is my favorite artist.
You know, also, I think that kind of plays into, not to interrupt, but it is like the industry.
It
I
is the
think
industry.
it really messes with people's heads. Like,
It
and
is.
I've tried to explain this to
Yeah.
other artists that are on the come up because, like, look, we're all on the grind. We
Yeah.
have all this energy that's wanting us to achieve all these goals that we have. Now, imagine if you've already accomplished all your goals.
Then what?
Right.
You got enough money to buy whatever the fuck you want to buy.
Do whatever
Yeah.
you want.
You
Facts.
have everything you want. You can look at the shoe store and you can have all those. It doesn't matter. None of that materialistic stuff means nothing to you. You got a mansion. You got 2 Bentleys. You got the SUV and the car, you know?
Facts.
And imagine you could travel anywhere you want. You could buy an island if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Now
But I
imagine
think-
having that all at your fingertips and just being like, what's left to live for?
And then Michael was the
know.
kind of person too that I feel like
Yeah.
he
So
found
it kind of messes with your head, I feel like.
he found joy in making other people happy.
Right.
In buying
In a
someone else
sense-
a house and
Yeah.
buying someone else something.
Because why
Right.
not?
He had 39 charities that he started. Like
Damn, I didn't know that.
yeah, people don't talk about that. They only want to talk about his bad. But he
Yeah.
started 39. He donated over $300 million to charities.
Wow.
You know, they don't talk about that.
No,
you know
they
what I
don't.
mean? So that's what kind of person he was.
That's why we brought you on the show.
Man.
You know what I mean? To just talk about Michael. No, but
We got Inez
Yo,
facts brought to you.
man, she got the facts
I
though.
know, Jackson.
I didn't know that.
Feel me?
That's huge.
Yeah,
And
no,
I'm glad
it's huge.
that you
I didn't know that either.
It
brought
really
that
is.
up.
It's huge. So I think that that's what people need to spread light on because that's why an artist like me does what I do because
Right.
I am seeing it as, like we said before, like there's the music, but music is one vehicle. There's the acting, the businesses, and then the charity work.
Right.
Yeah.
And he really did it all.
Yeah.
Like,
That's cool.
like he's starting his own movies. And he inspires people like me to be like, I can do it all.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
and I can donate and give back
And give
too,
back.
And I think a lot of artists don't do that nowadays. That's why people like Beyonce are so put on a pedestal,
Yeah.
because Beyonce gets it and she does it all too.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, and she gives to charities and all that, because it's like when you have
I was
so
singing
much.
Beyonce last night, actually.
You feel me?
I was. You can check my Instagram.
You were what? You were
I
singing
was
her?
singing Beyonce.
What
It
were you
was,
singing?
You
What
better
song?
be
I'll pull it
singing
up
her.
real quick. I'll show you. It's on the story.
What
Don't
song
even
were you
know.
singing?
I'm just gonna play it.
Were
I'll
you
show
watching the documentary? Because that's
That was the
good.
documentary that got me going. Watch. Oh.
Say my name.
So my kid was singing it. I was just lip singing it.
That sounded like the Drake
Yeah,
version.
put it on your kid.
That was my son. Well, he sings, man. He likes Beyonce. Why can't be mad at
that
that?
sounded like the Drake James Fauntleroy version.
I'm gonna let him know you said that, yo.
The slow version.
It wasn't actually me. It was him. But he sings better than I do. But yeah, we out here. Inez? Is Inez?
I know.
I can't mess that up again. I'm seeing me them eyes like, you mess up my name again, I'm gonna let
Love
you have it.
I know it's 4 letters, but it's
What
hard.
can we expect from you in the next year? Like, you got so much going on.
I mean, honestly, my main thing right now is just dropping mad music.
Okay.
That is really what I'm
You
excited
recording
for.
a lot right
Yeah,
now?
recording a lot. Because I haven't put out a project yet, so I'm trying to put out EP/mixtape
Got
like
it.
Okay.
ASAP.
How many songs can we expect on that?
Probably I liked the number 7.
Oh, lucky
Okay.
number
Lucky
seven.
number 7. That's not my favorite number, but I like that number.
It's a good number.
My favorite number is 9. So I'm thinking about either 9, but 9 is a little too much. I'm thinking 7. 6,
Okay.
7. I think that's good.
Right.
So
Okay.
I think we'll go there. And I think honestly right now until summertime, we're going to drop a few summer bangers. We have this
Okay.
huge
That's what we
feature,
need. We
huge
need
feature
that.
coming. So I'm so excited about that, but I can't say anything yet.
Ooh.
I'm so excited about that.
She gonna leave us
It's
hanging.
big. I already know.
Huge
Right.
feature. You know?
Can't say anything
No.
about that.
I
I
don't
just
even
know that
know.
it's a big person.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm so excited about
Look
that.
at her.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I can
exciting.
see it. I see
That's
it.
exciting. That's exciting. Come
Yeah,
back
so
on
you
that.
send us
Spirit.
that song when it released so that
Oh,
we
dear.
can showcase it here on the show.
Here it is.
And be like, yeah, you guys remember Inez, right? Well, she just dropped that big feature this week.
Yeah, but that mainly a lot of music. And then, I do want to explore more. Last year I was in my first little acting thing. It was like a little movie.
Okay.
Like, it still didn't come out yet. It's called The Secret Game.
Oh,
So mad.
okay.
And I played the villain. So I do
So is
want
that is coming out, though.
Yeah, it's coming
can look
out. It's
forward to
supposed to be
that.
coming out on Netflix, so that's going to be big.
So that was like your big break in the acting
Yeah,
career.
that was like the,
Okay.
so I do want, as they come, you know what I mean, in the right time, because my main thing is I want to put out music and be touring. So
Okay.
I don't want anything to take me away
So
from
you
that.
really enjoyed being on the road.
I really do.
It's a good feeling.
I mean, I love being on stage. Being on the road is very hard.
Right. It's
Any
Yeah.
artist that says
very
it's not
draining.
lies.
I was
Yeah,
bringing
it's
that up to someone the other
draining.
day. I was like, I remember someone was like, oh, because I've been to many cities, on tour and stuff. And I remember saying like, look, it's tight. You can go over here and go see the Rocky Monument in Philly or whatever.
right.
But then I was like, but then you got 9 shows back to back
Exactly,
after
you
that.
gotta hop
and
right
then
back
you're driving
on.
on in the tour
Right.
bus from here to
Exactly.
you're hungover from the show last night, and you gotta do
Man.
8 more back to
Right.
back to back to back, and then you're like on the bus. And like that's not easy, and you got to turn up and put 110%, especially as an
Every
artist
show.
like yourself who's
Yeah.
singing, doing the beauty,
Got
the wardrobe,
dancers,
makeup,
yeah.
dancers,
everything.
and all that. I mean, it's one thing for a rapper or a DJ. I get it. You
Yeah.
throw a T-shirt on and some black
And then you
jeans.
got
and
your
let's-
blunt and then
Right.
you
Exactly.
You know?
It ain't like that. Facts. So that's exactly why last tour too was like, oh my God. We had
Right.
like the first 10 shows back to back. Like,
Oh, right off
no
the bat.
days off at all. Like
no.
literally. So it was just like exhausting. But the feeling of being on stage is irreplaceable. Nothing
Right.
replaces that feeling.
Yeah.
I feel like there's an
Nothing.
energy that comes along with that like takes all that drained out energy and just
Yeah.
throws it out
Yeah.
the window.
It's just-
You're
it's
like,
honestly
this is
like-
why I'm here.
Yep.
Facts. Like the light that you get on stage,
Right.
that feeling is a drug. Like,
Right.
and if you don't like, it's a drug. It
Yeah.
really is.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
So that's like my favorite feeling ever.
It
but
is.
the whole traveling part, the like all the personalities
Mm-hmm.
and like,
Yeah.
that's
Trying to have
like
a
a lot.
relationship
Yeah,
on the
you trying
road.
to,
Feel
wanna be
me?
nice to everybody. You don't want to piss
God.
nobody off.
Feel me?
Shaking hands
Like,
with everybody. I don't even know if that's
crazy.
somebody or nobody.
Yeah,
You still gotta show them
facts,
love.
facts.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when you're out there and you're working with a lot of people, that's draining. They're pulling energy out of you.
Yeah.
You know? It's like that's
Yeah.
actually real things. So then by the time you get back home, you're like, ugh, I just expensed everything.
Yeah,
You know,
like you're like exhausted. Like
right.
when
People
I
think
came
that tour,
back,
they only see the bright and the fun side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I've always had this idea of doing like a reality show based on the tour life because there's a lot of crazy
that's what
elements.
I wanted to do. I'm so mad.
Perfect.
Yo,
We'll talk about
let's
that
do
later.
it.
So mad.
Let's get it
Literally,
poppin'.
next
Yeah.
tour.
She might be the first one.
Yeah.
That's serious because there was it's so entertaining. There was so much stuff
Right.
popping off.
Like, why isn't
it's so
someone filming
entertaining?
this? I
Like
need to get this.
seriously, we would put Love and Hip Hop to shame. Like it literally
Right.
was that. Like it was that real.
Give
I
us
don't know.
one of your crazy experiences that you had while on tour.
I want to hear this. I need to hear it. Inez, let me
I
hear
know
it.
you're thinking about one right now,
Oh
too. She's like,
my
should I
God.
say it
She's
or not?
blushing.
I know, right? Should I say it?
Come on, Inez, hit us with it.
Like, you know, here's the thing.
Okay.
There's something like very important lesson in this. Do not bring your personal problems into business. Someone brought their someone remain nameless, brought their significant other on the road, and it caused a lot of problems because, you know, she just wanted to watch him and
Right.
just wanted to
Be behind him everywhere he goes.
She didn't want to watch him being groped on by a bunch of other girls.
That's
feel
what
me?
she's there for.
And and the thing is she also was a problem starter.
Right.
So it
Oh,
started a
not
lot of
those.
problems.
She brought a drink on the man.
You know what I mean? And I don't like to get like I got my gangster side,
Right.
but I don't like to do that. I don't like
Right.
to
I'm
go
not trying
there.
to get hyped right now.
Oh.
You
I just
feel
got
me?
off the stage.
Don't piss off
Come on,
Inez.
like, you feel me?
Yeah.
And I'm like that type
X
of person.
gonna give it to you.
No, it's a fact. Remake coming soon because it's a fact. Like I am very like I'm nice. I'm sweet.
Right.
I'm love. I love
Right.
love. I want to. You know
Yeah.
what I
Don't
mean?
come at me wrong.
I turned quick,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it's just like no point of return. Once I don't mess with you, I don't mess
That's
with you.
me.
I'm not.
Cut.
I
Yeah.
am New York. I am not LA. I don't do that fake stuff. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Period.
Or like you know what I mean. Now people from here like
Yeah.
are real
Right.
like New
Yeah.
Yorkers.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
the real ones.
Yeah,
Send
the
them
real ones.
IEs out there.
You feel me?
know.
Y'all
Y'all
feel
they're
you.
real. They keep it real, but you already
Yeah.
know. You already know. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like it's different. You know.
Absolutely.
But me, I get gangsta, so I just had to get gangsta real quick.
Right.
And just make a couple phone calls
Hey.
and just like,
Oh,
you know,
shit.
deal with some problems. And then there was just like a lot going on though, a lot.
Right.
So it just like tested me. You know
So
what I mean?
did you whoop her ass or not? That's
I was
what I
gonna
want.
say,
Let's just
kick
get to
her
the
ass
bottom
off
of this.
the
Did
bus.
you
really-
kick her off the tour or what?
She
happened?
winded up getting herself off. It's
Okay.
like that. I don't
Oh,
even gotta
shit.
do nothing.
Shit, it's not even on me. That
You
was
could
you.
just get yourself off. Feel me? She
Right.
winded up just kicking herself off. So there's that part.
She got X'd off the tour.
She didn't
Feel
want
me?
the smoke
Extra.
at all.
She did not. She was
Okay,
not
so
ready
that
for
was
all
crazy.
Yeah, it was a little wild, but honestly, more than anything, it was
Respect
just.
though, respect that you hold your own. Like, there's a lot of
Yeah.
girls out there that don't really hold their own. I feel
Oh,
like it's
no.
that New York chip on your shoulder.
That's
It's that
what
New
it
York,
is.
you know.
Feel me? It's
Yeah.
the New York. Like,
I feel
New,
that.
New
I feel
Yorkers
that.
are psycho. So
Okay, she said
like,
it.
I see her eye twitching over
Right.
there.
feel me? It's the eye twitch and shit too. Feel me? It's the eye twitch. Like
cross
we're
me wrong.
psychos.
Look, I'm like,
Bro,
oh.
there's something about it because New York is a different beast.
It
Like,
is.
You can't survive in New York if you don't have that, like, oh my God, someone's always out to get me.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
kind of
that hustle.
vibe. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that teaches you a different kind of, like, please don't mess with me.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
because people in New York mess with people just because they're walking down the street. So it teaches you to really have this defense that you're, like, ready to go.
Legit.
You know?
I remember
Yeah.
being on the East Coast. Some dude cussed me out for crossing the crosswalk not fast enough,
Yeah,
and it still
like-
said walk.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Bro,
yo.
you're like, I got 20 seconds on the
He's like,
timer.
get the fuck out of the road. I'm like, bro, the shit still says walk. I'm like, damn.
Nah, for real,
what's with
for real.
These people
Like,
are
it be
just
that quick.
assholes
It be
by
that
nature.
Aggressive.
No
Get on my
Very
nerves.
aggressive.
But you know,
But that's why I moved to LA because New York is so much of that
Right.
it's like, oh my God, I just want to chill right
so
now.
it's
Right.
not
And I
just
Yeah.
me. I
want
thought New
my-
York was out to get me.
No, it's out to get everyone. So that's
Okay.
why like LA is like more chill vibe.
Right.
Let me
Yeah,
smoke
chill,
my weed,
exactly.
Like, leave me
You smoke
alone.
weed?
You feel me? I do.
All right.
That's the only thing. Like it's just like I think that Mary has a lot of healing things
It
about
does.
it. So
I like how spiritual you are. That's dope.
Man, I love
I'm
it.
very
I wore this
spiritual.
crystal necklace today. I guess a word for a
Oh,
reason.
I love it. You got your crystal on. Okay.
Hey, I never wear this. I found this in the garage
Protected.
and I was like, yo, this is ill. I'm gonna rock this.
Yeah.
I love it too. It's nice. It's a
My
nice
chain a
one.
little bit.
That's a nice one. I like
I've
that
been getting
one.
my son into crystals. There's a spot on Melrose called House of Intuition.
Oh, I love it there.
Yeah, that's a
what?
cool spot.
Oh my God.
So
I
we
love
go
it
in there and I buy him little crystals every time. I'm like, this one's for calming because your hyper ass needs this.
Put that in your pocket.
I hold this, and the thing is, my son is like, he carries this spiritual vibe. Like everywhere we go, someone's giving him something. The lady gave me 3 cake pops today at Starbucks. I'm like, did you buy those? And he was like, no, she gave them to me.
Because he's cute, probably.
Probably. That's what it
And he's
is.
a little
He
master
is.
finesse. He knows how to get shit
He's
out of people.
super cute.
But then we went to another spot and people, they give him crystals. Like he's like has a little collection on his windowsill in his room. And I'm like, and you're not supposed. He's like, you're not supposed to mix them up. And he's starting to understand what they do.
Yeah.
And I took him to my
wow.
office earlier today,
He's
and he's trying
smart.
to take the one off my desk. I was, nah, man, you ain't taking my crystal.
Right. You got enough at home.
Can't take my crystal, bro.
Right.
You can't.
I'll get you your own.
Yeah.
Do you collect crystals or anything?
I do. I
Do
love
you have like a
stones,
favorite one
crystals.
that's like that you would recommend for someone for a specific reason or?
So I'm Middle Eastern, so we love the eye.
Okay.
So anything that has the eye on it,
Right.
like I love. And then if it has also crystals with the like the eye in it,
Ooh.
like I have this one piece that is like a crystal, but it has the eye in it.
Oh, sick.
It's like a
Oh,
bracelet.
that's dope.
Oh.
Yeah, and I got one for my mom, my sister, and my brother, so that they're
Oh,
protected.
fam.
Yeah.
Whole lot of gang shit.
Yeah, a whole
love
lot
it.
of, you feel me? Whole lot of. I was just like, y'all are protected all the time. I
Right.
do not play.
No, I like that. I like that. Though. I'm the same way.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't play with that. Like when you know how it is when someone you love, like it's just like for me, the conclusion of it on tour, by the way, is I didn't do anything. I
Right.
just was a bigger person. She wound up kicking herself off, and it was done.
Yeah.
But-
Easy. And the rest of the tour was clay.
And it was
Right.
fine, all great, all dandy.
Right.
So with me, I get over it. When
Right.
it comes to someone I love, I do not play no games.
Right.
I will not backtrack. I will not play around.
Yeah.
Like, oh, what's
As you
going
should.
down?
I respect
Yeah.
that because I'm a
Oh,
family guy
yeah.
myself. You know,
Yeah,
my
very
family always
family.
comes first. My parents split when I was young, which made my bond between me and my brothers like way stronger because I was being separated from them. And to this day, like we all treat each other like number one. Like
Yeah.
I will die for my brothers.
Yeah.
Straight up.
That's how
like
it's
I will
supposed
take
to
a bullet
be.
for my brothers. And when I see families that don't get along like that, it
It's
literally
sad.
blows my mind. I'm like,
Yeah.
you don't talk to your sister or your brother?
Yeah.
It's
I'm like,
weird.
your parents don't even call you on Christmas? Like,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's weird.
It hurts.
If
you know?
when
Like,
I meet people
this-
like that, it's a little weird. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like
But not every
nobody.
family's the same though, and I'm starting to learn that.
Yeah.
You know, as much as I want it to be like that,
Yeah.
and as
not.
much as I feel like people should embrace their family and their loved ones, as much as it's like it's not the same. You
It's
know,
not.
As-
Yeah.
and you can try and fight it or argue it as much as you want, but everybody's different. And everybody's
Yeah.
got different circumstances. I understand. But you know, I'm a big person on like support those who support you and embrace your family.
Yeah.
Because I've heard so many stories of people being on their deathbed being like, I wish I would have spent more time with family. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And
Yeah.
like, I don't want to be
Take that
dude.
time.
I don't want to
Life
look
is
back at my
short.
life and be like, I shoulda or I coulda.
And
Yeah.
no
I'm
one
gonna
like
go do it. You know
yeah,
what I'm
no
saying?
one like really like loves you and wants like my little brother. He has me like my pic whenever I call. The picture that comes up is like me just laughing. Like
Oh,
you know,
that's cute.
like no one's gonna love
great.
you like that.
Right.
They want
Yeah.
to see you happy.
Right.
Like they
Yeah.
like you know
I
what I
love
mean.
that.
Like you know, like my mom will just like be like, oh yeah, I got you these.
Yeah,
shit.
how you gonna
Like,
deny a call like that when that
Right,
picture pops
no,
up?
you
Like,
got
come on.
to.
Ah, my sister. What up, sis?
But like when I found that out, I was like, damn, like you know, and they do like they came to LA like last month, and my little brother was playing the keys, and my little sister was like rapping.
Oh, so
And I
music
was
runs in the
quite-
family.
Well, now it does.
They see you
older
getting it
brother-
like, hold up, I
Right,
can rap too.
look.
Let's go.
And when they were doing it, I just started crying because I was just like, oh my God, like
Right.
this is so, like they're inspired by me.
Right.
Like,
That's
I
so
just
tight.
cried.
Like,
Like,
stop it.
you know,
It's
so
cute when they do
cute.
that.
I was like, oh my God.
He's
Yeah.
like, you know, I got bars, sis. What's
Yeah,
up?
my sister, my
Want to
sister's
get put on? What's
yeah,
up?
fact. She's like, I'm a rapper now, and I was like, wait, what?
Right.
Like, you know, she's like 6'7", and I was
Let me
just
shoot you
dying.
these throwaway beats and see what you
Right.
can do. Real
Facts,
quick.
Go ahead.
facts. But
I
it's
like
so
that.
authentic that it makes me want to be more authentic.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
it's like, damn, she's so raw. Like
Right.
they're so raw, and
Yeah.
you know,
You
like
get in the car and freestyle a little bit, like, okay.
yeah, like
Right.
it was like, you know what gives me a new confidence. Like
Right.
when she was like 2 or 3, she was just on the guitar playing, singing, like with her
Wow.
little guitar.
Right.
But you know, just playing around,
Right,
you
having
know what I
fun.
mean? And it just inspired me to be like, I need to be more me because she's so raw. She's
Right.
so her. She don't
Yeah.
care about nobody else is around her
Yeah.
saying or thinking, you know? So that inspired me a lot.
That's cool.
They inspired me.
That's really cool. We're about to come out to a close in the show. I got one last question for you.
Get it?
I know we didn't do current events. Joy, did you want to say anything about what's going on out there? This girl is like most
No, we don't
entertaining guest we've had in a while. so
exactly. We don't need no
to worry
current
about what's going on
events
out
today.
there.
Okay.
I was gonna say, you know, you got a whole lot going on. And I love the acting because I know that
Yeah,
like
me
I was
too.
bringing up that like I love seeing musicians getting into acting.
Yeah.
Like Ludacris, Machine Gun Kelly's killing
It's
it.
so bad.
Right.
Lady
And, like,
Gaga. Lady Gaga, Oscar nominated.
Did you see her
Beyonce
documentary
now, yeah.
recently? Like
Come
Lady
on
Gaga put out
now.
a great documentary recently too. It was also dope.
Beyonce Golden Globe nominated.
Right,
Like,
like-
that's so inspiring. I love that.
Right. And I want to know, where do you see yourself in like 3 years? Because you got all these things going for you.
I'm gonna put it out right now. Grammy award winning, Oscar award winning.
Yes.
Put it out there right
so
now.
she's gonna be on the stage. I'm gonna be like,
I'ma see
damn,
it.
look
Put
at
it out there
Inez,
right
yo.
now.
Look at Inez.
I want the Grammys and the Oscars. I want both.
Okay.
There's no limitations. And then after just seeing Lady Gaga do what she did,
Right.
I was like, oh, let's get it. There's
More
no
inspiration.
limitations. There's no limitations. Like, it's being done right now.
Yep.
So
Right.
there's no limitations.
Yep.
Super dope. Well, I want to thank you for coming on the show, Inez.
Thank you so much. You guys
Joy.
are so dope.
I love
y'all.
It's great having you back as well.
Thank you.
Shout out to our video crew and the
Hey.
dog Yeezy. Shout out to
Yeezy.
Yeezy.
Oh,
Can we get a
he's
picture
chilling.
of Yeezy?
Yeezy, we love you.
He took a nap
Yeezy.
earlier. He threw his hands up like, what's
Y'all,
up?
her dog's name is Yeezy.
Yeezy
Like,
chilling.
Inez, you got a bright
Look.
future ahead of you, and we're so happy to have you on the Hella Clout show. Thank you
guys
so
so
much.
much.
You guys are the
Dash
best.
Radio Hollywood. We out here.
We out here.